Today, we will be discussing the importance of properly defining project objectives and scope to ensure the success of our projects. We will examine key principles and best practices that should be applied when defining project objectives and scope to ensure the maximum outcome for our stakeholders. Let us now take a look at the key considerations and best practices necessary to do this. Project objectives and scope are essential to the successful initiation of any project. Without them, everyone involved would be uncertain of what needs to be achieved. This section will look at why it is important to precisely define objectives and scope, as well as the key considerations and best practices for creating an effective project plan. Having clear project objectives is essential to focus our efforts and create a shared understanding between stakeholders. In order to ensure successful project outcomes, the objectives should consider stakeholder expectations, business goals, feasibility, measurability and flexibility. Moving forward, let's consider the key elements for defining project objectives. In defining project objectives and scope, stakeholders' expectations and business goals must be taken into account. Feasibility of goal set, measurement of progress and adaptability to changes must also be considered. Defining the project objectives and scope is the fifth and final step. This involves identifying the deliverables to be produced, defining the boundaries of the project, identifying any constraints that could impact the scope and documenting any assumptions made. It is also necessary to review and validate the scope with stakeholders to confirm that it accurately reflects their expectations.